You're listening to Not Your Sister podcast. Yes, we're both redheads.
No, we're not sisters. I'm not your sister, Christine.
And I'm not your sister, Amanda. Christine had a really good idea for a new segment. Do you want to tell about it?
Yes, it's inspired by the amount of times we're asked that we're sisters. And it has gotten to the point where things have been happening in very outrageous ways. And I was
Almost
like,
unbelievable.
So I was like, we need to start like documenting and sharing ways that people ask us if we're sisters, and like who's asking and the way they ask and the circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a work in progress segment. We're definitely going to do it every time.
If it's horrible, let us know, but we really don't think it will.
I don't think it's horrible.
On this week's segment of outrageous ways people ask us if we're sisters, we love a Lime scooter in a city. Whenever we're in a city, we look to see if there are Lime scooters there because we just want to be cruising around on those babies all the time. We're cruising down the road in San Francisco, the middle of the street, middle of the city, and this car slows while it's driving in the middle of the road, windows simultaneously rolling down, and this guy's head flies out the window.
The passenger
head out the window. You guys have great hair. Are you sisters?
And then we're like, what? We're turning all around. We're like, who's screaming out their window? It's like, it was that important that you had to have your driver slow down so you could scream out the window.
Well, there's 20 cars behind you during rush hour in the middle of a big city.
We're literally like driving the scooters simultaneously alongside this car having a full-blown conversation. And sometimes we say no, but like this time I just said yes.
Yeah.
And he's like, I knew it! I told my husband! I was like, you're right.
He seemed like a really sweet guy. I told him that we have parents that are Italian, and I was like, this is Italian, my baby. And he was like, I knew it. What part of Italy?
And then we're like, bye! Never saw him again.
But again, it was so important to know if we were sisters. Two strangers driving on the side of the road, nothing to do with your life, need to know if we're sisters.
Yeah. So, and that's basically what prompted the new segment.
Because it was outrageous.
We are currently in South Lake Tahoe. We just got here and are going to be spending the next couple of days here. We don't really have any solid plans yet, but we're going to
be near water.
Yeah. Because
float in the lake.
Just driving through here, the actual Lake Tahoe area is absolutely stunning.
Mm-hmm.
So we're ready to explore some nature.
Yeah, we left California for a little bit. We're currently in Nevada, but we'll be back.
Yeah, it's literally 10 minutes from the border.
Last weekend we were in San Francisco, and we don't really take this baby into a lot of cities.
It's absolute hell. Let's just put it that way.
And
the driving itself isn't that bad. It's the parking and the amount of parking tickets that we've gotten so far.
A lot.
I can't fucking deal with it. I can't do it again.
Our appeal was accepted for one of them.
That's a really funny story, actually. But for another time. But no, the parking, is a huge problem. Because we already got robbed. We're not leaving it on the street. And like finding a street parking spot that's going to be free is like probably impossible, especially in a big city.
We were going to be there for a few days, and we were going to be not staying in the camper. We were staying with my cousins. So we needed somewhere to park it for multiple days in a row. Yeah. Not just parking for the day.
Yeah, and we weren't really going to sleep in it, so it was just somewhere to leave it that was going to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
So we started researching all these different avenues. We had started looking at like public storage places, which turned out to be a total bust because there was no place like big enough, or they didn't have
you to pay month to month anyway, so it was going to be $500 anyway.
Yeah, and she was like, well, we'll see what we can do. And then she's like, so this place is about $520 for the month. I'm like, okay, I'm hanging up now. I mean, you know the situation. You really think it'd be $500 for 2 days?
No.
Next. And then we were looking at campgrounds in the area, which were like few and far between because we're in the city.
Yeah, we were going to just pay for a campground for a couple nights and not stay there, hoping, because we found some campsites that were like $40, $50. So we were like, whatever, we'd pay $100. But the minimum for the campgrounds in the San Francisco area are $150 and upwards.
Yeah, and then one said like you could only make reservations 36 hours in advance or something ridiculous. Like you couldn't like make a reservation for the next day.
Yeah.
It's their policy. Well, I've never heard anything more stupid.
Even though there was availability.
I'm like, oh, what kind of business owner denies business and money?
It's just our policy.
I just don't get it. And then there was like a place, I can't remember if it was one of the storage units or a campground that like could potentially have worked. And then we looked for an Uber and it was over $700 to take the Uber literally across the bridge.
Yes.
It wasn't even that far. Like, not far at all.
Mm-mm.
So that didn't work out. But then your cuz came in.
Yes.
Watch.
She said, why don't you park at the airport? And we were like, oh my God. 24-hour security, probably a rate under $50 a day. Safe, close. She's like, it's 15 minutes from my house. We were like, oh my God, perfect. I truly would not have thought of that without her.
No, I would have never thought about that because normally you're trying to avoid airport parking at all costs.
But in this situation, airport parking was amazing because it was our cheapest option.
Yeah, and it ended up only being $50 for the 2 days. And we took a $30 Uber to her house, apartment.
It was perfect. Big bang, boom.
And we didn't get robbed.
And we did not get robbed. It was safe. So, recommendation, if you are in an oversized vehicle and you want to go to a city, look for a nearby airport because a lot of bigger cities or more popular cities do have airports right in them. So, look for an airport. You can park in the long-term parking for a couple days and it's perfect.
The open air lot, not the
open
garage.
Air if you're oversized a certain height. While we were there, like we said, we stayed with my cousins. It's actually technically my aunt and uncle. The age gap between my parents and her husband is bigger. I feel like her and I are, she's like right in the middle, but she feels too young and close to my age and more of a peer to me. So I don't really see her as like aunt. So I just say cousins, but that's semantics.
At any rate.
They were so gracious to host us right after coming back from Burning Man.
Dun, 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 dun. Wow.
I did not know anything about Burning Man, truly, until we were chatting with them. Like, honestly, I've tried looking stuff up online, and I really just can't get a straightforward answer. What is Burning Man?
Oh my gosh. That's actually funny because we are representing part of Burning Man.
I just knocked over our sticker that we have up.
Love Shines Down.
Love Shines Down is the name of the molecule that my cousins built for Burning Man. They're the
art installation.
Yes. They're the ones that are doing the art installations and being involved in the productive camps.
In Build Week. It's a whole thing. I think you could talk for hours and hours about Burning Man and you still wouldn't even touch the surface. And we've never even been.
Yeah. And I guess the idea of Burning Man, there's multiple principles.
10 principles, I think.
10 principles. 10 commandments. And one of them being leave no trace. So they build a city in the middle of a desert, an intricate city, in a week. Actually, I think it might be longer that they're building the city, but either way.
Well, part of when they build like the big structures, like the Burning Man that they end up burning at the end and the temple and stuff, that goes on well before. But then Build Week is when all the artists come in and people that are setting up their art and their camps and all that. So they have about a week to put all that together.
Yeah. But after Burning Man's over, everything is taken away and it's left exactly how it was found, which I think is crazy.
It's absolutely insane. When you need to look up a map of the city in the playa. The playa is like the open space. That's where all the art is. And then the city is like in this half moon shape. But they have everything. They have like hairdressers, they have gas station, and it's all based like on a gifting system. So
not trade.
No.
And not money. Your money is no good here.
So you go to Burning Man with like some type of gift to give everyone that goes. So for example, your camp could be the grilled cheese camp. And you bring enough grilled cheese to last whatever the week that you're there, and people can come up and you just give them a grilled cheese. Because and then that person probably has a different gift. And they have whatever water bottles for everybody. So you don't technically need to bring everything like you were to go on a camping trip or a music festival. You really only bring a lot of one thing.
Yeah.
And then you rely on the rest of the city to take care of you.
Do you remember Spank Butts?
Yes.
Spank Butts is one of the camps that have been there recently. Spank Butts is essentially a spin on Starbucks
Coffee shop.
So you get coffee, but you pick from the menu. And again, it's a gifting system, so it's completely free. But you have to pick from the menu what spanking you want, not what coffee you want. And then you get the spanking and then you get the coffee. And their logo is a woman holding, instead of like the Starbucks girl holding the staff, she's holding a paddle. I thought Spank Butts was funny.
Yeah, but it's all stuff like that. And there's like, I think 70,000 people went this year or around there.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have the art there is absolutely incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like paintings and all that, which they do have. It's like huge structures that are like so in-depthly engineered and have been designed and like done and redone for years and years and years. And then they finally bring their mastered piece to Burning Man to display.
Yeah, they were showing us some really cool art pieces from the one that they were just at and ones years prior. But it's funny because they like knew the names of all of these art installations.
Yeah, and the artists go, and it's like a way for artists to get recognized, and it's just like a huge Burning Man community.
Yeah, and the idea of Burning Man is essentially a celebration of counterculture. Everything is pretty much saying screw the man. You burn the man at the end. So
yeah,
you're
that's the whole idea.
Living, away from societal norms and societal stigmas, and you're just there to be present and be kind and giving and live in a world that's different than this world. No politics, no money, just existing together and helping each other survive, essentially.
Yeah, and then at the end, like the last day, it's called the burn. That's when they burn the Burning Man structure to the ground in the temple. So basically, and like you can put your art inside the temple, and that all gets burned too, because it's like nothing lasts forever.
Yeah.
But there was something really sketchy that happened this year. A homicide.
A murder.
Okay.
Which is something that I was thinking the whole time they were talking. I was like, wow. I mean, think of the purge. You take away police and structure and laws, and you get chaos and danger. So that was what I was thinking the whole time they were talking. So then I was like, well, is it safe there? And they're like, oh yeah, really safe. And then one of them was like, besides the murder this year.
It's the first time in Burning Man history that there's been foul play. People have died, for sure.
Falling off art installations.
Yeah, falling off art installations. I'm sure overdosing. I'm sure dehydration.
Oof. It's a tough
Stuff like that. But yes, there was a homicide. Still unsolved.
I mean, maybe getting lost in the dust storms. The dust storms are no joke.
Oh my gosh. We were looking at videos of them. You cannot even see 1 foot in front of you.
People had ropes. They were holding onto the ropes so they didn't lose each other because you could not see the person in front of you.
You have to wear like ski masks and goggles.
Yeah, so you don't inhale all the dust. And the dust storms come unpredictably.
And they take down the city, basically.
If it rains, because of the dust, the way that it hardens when water hits it is like cement. So like cars can't be driving around, people can't really be like walking and setting things up. So if it starts raining, they will close down the entrance to the city and not let any more people in. I think the wait this year was 30 hours to get in.
Yeah, just waiting your 30 car to get into the festival. People were like camping out in line. Oh, another piece of Burning Man, besides like the physical art installations, is the vehicles. And those are also art in and of itself.
Yes.
And people make these crazy vehicles, art cars, like our cousins are part of Red Hot Bev. And it's just like this huge red, I'm not actually sure what it's supposed to be, to be honest.
It shoots fire 30 feet.
Yeah, everyone is all about this flame throwing. It's like, how much fire can your art car shoot? Using like hundreds of gallons of propane throughout the week, shooting fire. And it's
400 gallons, wasn't the guy saying?
Yeah, for like one night.
A day.
Yeah.
400 gallons of propane
it's insane,
a day.
Because they're shooting like massive flames in the playa. Most of the art cars are like DJs, so they're like blasting music, throwing fire, and part of the city is a DMV, and like you can only drive your art car if you go through the DMV and have it like registered, essentially.
Yeah. Anything you can think of.
It's a city. It has everything.
That's crazy.
It's so wild to even think about. Just, you need to go down the rabbit hole.
You really do. We watched a little documentary that their friend
Mark
made.
It's on YouTube. I'm not sure really the name.
He does one every year.
Yeah.
I don't know the name.
But that's Burning Man in a nutshell from the outside.
I finally have my answers about Burning Man. We brushed the surface of Burning Man. We posted our Venmo so that people could donate to our adventure fund. Donate to the cause. Be part of something bigger than themselves.
Our trip.
And one of our donations was very generous, and we decided to use it to go out to eat in San Francisco, because San Francisco's food scene is iconic, and we don't really like spending our money on going out to eat.
We haven't even gone out to eat.
No, unless someone's taken us out to eat, we have not been out to eat.
Correct.
So we decided San Francisco was the city. We were going to use this donation. So we went to a bunch of different restaurants. The money lasted us for a little while, and we have some restaurant recommendations. So first, we were near the dog patch area. Okay.
I thought you were going to talk about
Okay. All right. So we went out to eat the first night that we were there in the dog patch area. And we went to this place called Mission Rock.
It was so freaking good.
It was really, really good. We got shrimp scampi, but not on pasta. It was like a shrimp scampi with some sort of bread in there.
It was the most divine sauce I've ever tasted.
We were putting the sauce on everything else.
I was licking the plate. So the waiter was trying to take it away. I was like, with my tongue out, wait.
We got the shrimp scampi. We got a lobster roll. We each got some clam chowder. The chowder was really good too.
It was good.
Everything at Mission Rock was really good. I highly recommend that restaurant.
The scampi really stood out though.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really good atmosphere.
Another recommendation for food, we went to Hog Oyster, which was in the Ferry Building. The Ferry Building is kind of like a market in a way, because it's filled with different restaurants and businesses. So you could go in there and try a bunch of different things. Like we went out to dinner, and then I went down to get some dessert at a different place. So there's a bunch of different options. Food though. Hog Oyster, our favorite thing there was the clam chowder. That was the best clam chowder we had.
Definitely. And because it was thinner.
It was thinner, and they actually put the whole clams in there.
Mm-hmm.
Which I do like.
I do like that too. Yeah, that chowder was very good.
Very good, very fresh. We also got chowder at Fog Harbor, which is in the Fisherman's Wharf. So the Fisherman's Wharf is very touristy, but it was cool. We enjoyed just walking through there to see it at least once.
It was like San Francisco's Times Square. There's everything.
Ferris wheel. There were 1 million shops, 1 million restaurants. I mean, it was crazy.
Excursions, everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's definitely flashy, but it was cute.
And we went to Fog Harbor. We wanted to try their clam chowder in a bread bowl. We were obviously in search of the best clam chowder in San Francisco. We got chowder in a bread bowl. It was like a sourdough bread bowl, and it was fresh sourdough that they get daily. We also had a good view at Fog Harbor. It was overlooking the wharf, and there were a bunch of docks with all the fishermen boats, and seals were just swimming around and literally jumping up and flopping their bodies onto the docks, shaking the whole dock. It was a lot.
There was like probably 100. They were all laying. Well, the docks that were close to us, there were some, but then if you looked past that, there was like 100 laying all on top of each other.
Sunbathing.
They were cute though, but I think they were a nuisance because there was one person out there with a broom shooing them off and then they would get the one off at the end of the dock, and then they would go to the next one, and then the seal would just jump right back on the dock. Yeah. So it was like someone's full-time job to shoo away the
But it was really fun to watch while you're eating our chowder out of a bread bowl.
Yeah, they had a good view.
Also, another thing that I'm obsessed with, that a bunch of the girls that I work with got me a gift card before I left to come on the trip. and I decided to use it as my matcha fund. Everywhere that we go, I try and find an iconic matcha. After looking into it, I realized San Francisco is kind of known for its matcha and the matcha selection. So we ended up, my favorite matcha that I got was from a place called Kamea no Bento. And it was so creamy and it was like
Thick.
very thick, but not too sweet. It was delicious. So I highly recommend that place. And then I also got matcha at a place called Compton Coffee House. And it was so creamy. And their lids are really sturdy because when I spilled it, nothing came out. My favorite thing that we did while we were there was a recommendation from our friend Haley.
Shout out.
She said to go check out Dolores Park, which we did. We went on a Saturday. We took our Lime scooters there. And it was such, it seems like you go to a park where there's a bunch of people. That's an experience that you probably have had a time in your life. But for some reason, the energy at this park felt so different than anything I've ever experienced. It was so many different groups of people doing all different types of things, like a group of people playing beach volleyball, other people brought drop down tables and they're playing beer pong, beer die, and another group of people are celebrating a 32nd birthday party with balloons and presents and 20 people. Other groups are just sitting in a circle and reading to each other. Some are laying and listening to music. Like, it was just every group of person that you can think of at this gorgeous park tucked in the middle of the city, surrounded by palm trees and gorgeous buildings.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I loved Dolores Park. Collective effervescence. But there are people walking around, like guys with carts selling cold beer and water and snacks and ice cream. And then at one point, this one girl, she comes walking up with her wagon and just like parks herself in the direct center of the park. She pulls out this humongous speaker and starts blasting music.
Terrible
And
music.
we Shazammed one of the songs.
No, the quality.
Oh. Good music, bad speaker.
Bad speaker.
She's got her speaker out, and in her wagon, she starts pulling out these bottles and shaking them of like liquor. And she's got shakers and mixers and anything that you can think of. She's got a full open bar there. So anyone can go and
get liquored up
at Dolores Park. I thought that was cool. I don't know, I've just never experienced
cool
something
scene.
like that.
But like I said, there was hardly any kids, and I think everyone was like kind of younger and had like there was like a young, fun energy there.
Yes. Yeah.
No one crying about their popsicle foul.
You come across that a lot?
Yeah, constantly.
What was your favorite thing in San Francisco?
Well, since I'm not really a city girl, I do appreciate the history of a city, and I think it's cool to see different places that are iconic. I did have a highlight driving over the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yes.
I mean, obviously growing up a Full House kid, you see it every time the intro comes on, and then you're driving over yourself. It felt really cool.
It felt really surreal.
Yeah.
It was so big.
It was huge. But we also did, obviously, being the hippie girl that I am at heart, had to visit the Haight-Ashbury area. And that was cool because we got to see where the Grateful Dead began and kind of that whole hippie movement.
The counterculture.
So we saw where the Grateful Dead lived, their house at 710 Ashbury.
Mm-hmm.
And we walked down the street and saw all the shops, and there was like a really old, cool tie-dye place. Gus made all the tie-dye for the Dead and all their tapestries and stuff that they would have on stage. Probably was the coolest store.
Mm-hmm.
But it was cool to see and be a part of where it all began.
Yeah, I felt a lot of history while we were in San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, the city itself was nice. And having been to a lot of cities, in a lot of dirty cities, San Francisco really wasn't that dirty. At least the parts that we visited.
Yes, we have heard a lot about homeless and just it being really dirty. And I can't speak for the whole city, but the places that we went, we really didn't experience that. We've been to cities that are much worse than San Francisco.
Yeah.
And certain parts of the city reminded me of the Amalfi Coast in Italy. It just felt so European summer, like coastal Mediterranean vibes.
There was one thing that was really terrifying when we were there. People take Ubers and Lyfts all the time as a form of transportation. But in bigger cities, there is now something called Waymo.
Mo money, way more problems.
Mm-hmm. Like she said. This car is, well, first I was like seeing them drive through. I'm like, what is that thing? It looked like a space shuttle because they had this huge like propeller thing on top. It's like got like all these cameras all around the whole thing. It just looked very futuristic and creepy.
Yeah.
And then you look inside and you realize this car has no driver. It's completely driving itself.
Well, and the back seats are really tinted, so you really don't see anyone in the car.
Yeah, so this car is just flying around the city by itself.
Mm-hmm.
Programmed. It's supposed to be smart. I don't trust it. I was trying to make it hit me because I was like, how smart could this thing be? But it actually was, because I was on the scooter and I zoomed in front of it and it slowed down. And then I stayed in front of it and it stayed a ways back. They're supposed to be smarter and safer than human drivers.
At one point, I saw no driver and a 10-year-old in the passenger seat, and it just looked so weird and dystopian.
Yeah, I mean, you probably feel safer putting your kid in that car than one with a stranger.
It's story time.
Oh my gosh, you're in for it.
We've got a crazy little story.
Yeah, just sit down and get a glass of water. Don't drink any wine right now.
In a garbage pail to potentially throw up in.
There's some nauseating moments.
As maybe someone out there had clocked, last episode I had mentioned that the burger that has changed my view on burgers was one that I had after we did a long hike and Christine went to the hospital. Today is the day for that story.
Christine goes to the ER.
We were in Wyoming at Grand Tetons National Park, and we were doing a longer hike.
Actually, it was like our first hike.
It was our first hike that really had some distance. It wasn't super difficult though.
No, it was pretty flat. The only part that was hard was the beginning.
Yeah, it was about 10 miles out and back and 1,000 feet of elevation.
Yeah, it was pretty much just a walk through the valley between the two mountains.
Cascade Canyon, yeah. So it was the Cascade Canyon Trail. You first go up to Inspiration Point, and then you can hike pretty much as far into the canyon as you want and then turn around. And we decided to turn around once we got to a different trail that was going to be further.
To do this hike, you have to take a ferry over to the trailhead to make it shorter. Or you could do the whole thing around the lake. But we decided to take the ferry. So, on what? Jenny Lake it's called?
Mm-hmm.
So you get on the ferry. It's like, I don't know, a 10 to 15 minute boat ride over to the trailhead. They drop you off and then you do the trail. And then when you're done, you take the ferry back. So we do the trail. We're very prepared.
Super prepared. My parents are huge hikers. They live in the Adirondacks. They are 46ers. For people that don't know what that is, there's 46 high peaks with over 3,000 feet in elevation gain, I believe is what is considered a high peak. They've done all 46 at least 3 times. So they are huge hikers, and they're also over preparers in a good way. So they taught me how to prepare for a hike and how to pack for a hike. We were prepared. We had water, we had food, we had electrolytes. We had really anything that we could need.
We ate breakfast before, super hydrated.
We'd been extra hydrated because we were trying not to, it was early in the trip and we were trying not to get elevation sickness.
Yeah, so we were like overhydrated.
Yeah. So we do Cascade Canyon. An important thing to note is on the way up, I had a very sudden spell.
Violent attack.
Come over me. It all came to fruition with under 2 minutes. I had from warning to excretion. To release.
It was like 0 to 100. It was go time.
All of a sudden, we were walking, and I was like, I'm gonna shit my pants. And I knew it was going to be violent. So I'm like, I got to find a place to go. And I had no time. When I tell you, it was at the door. Knocking.
As my dad would say, code purple.
Code purple.
Worse than red.
So I try and pull over as soon as I can. I don't even have time to go deeper into the woods. And it just starts flying out of me. I do get my pants down.
Thank God.
So I literally have hot lava coming out of my ass.
And I am getting slapped in the face with the smell. I got whiplash.
It was not right. Something was not right.
It was sick.
And people were coming. And I barely had time to finish up before I put my pants back on. I wiped with a leaf. The leaf broke in my hands. It was the last time I felt so underprepared in that moment because I did not have baby wipes or anything like that. I do with me at all times now.
After this.
So the people walk by. They absolutely know what's going on. I'm barely off the path, standing over something that smells
your underwear.
So that happens. And I moved on pretty quickly. We had to keep going. But we still had more than half of the hike left.
But you felt fine after that.
I felt fine after that. Felt like, okay, don't know what that was. That was sketchy. Moving on.
So we do the whole loop. We're on the way back. We're coming through Inspiration Point, which is like littered with people. So we're like, we got to catch the ferry. It wasn't really urgent, but we made it seem urgent for some reason.
There were a ton of people coming down from Inspiration Point. Because Inspiration Point is only like maybe 2 miles out and back. So most people go to that point, get a good view of the lake and the mountains, and then come back down. So there was the bulk of people at Inspiration Point. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to beat all of them down to the ferry because there's only one ferry and it ran every 20 minutes.
Yeah, so for some reason we felt like we should be running.
Sprinting down.
Like jumping, doing parkour on rocks.
Jumping around people. I jumped over a kid at one point.
You look back, everyone's in your dust on the ground. But it was actually fun until it wasn't. Because we got down to the line, and all of a sudden I was like in excruciating pain from my stomach down all the way into my anus. Mm-hmm. And if you are getting faint now, you should probably stop listening. I was in a fetal position, sitting on a bench, waiting for the ferry, just like waiting for this pain to pass because I had never experienced something so violent in my life. I was moaning.
I'm laughing. But then she turns to me and she was like, this is not funny. It's really not funny. I was like, oh shit, okay. We're being serious.
Yeah, it was not at all a joke. I had wished it was. So we get on the ferry after waiting in line for what felt like forever. And at this point, I'd kind of taken a turn for the worse. Because it was getting exponentially more painful. I was having like very, very sharp pains in my stomach and my butt.
Oh. And it was a small, essentially water taxi because there was maybe 20 people on there. And it was kind of quiet because the lake is small. And she's curled up in a fetal position, moaning, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Not sure it went quite like that.
It went exactly like that.
I was definitely being vocal because it was the only release. Because
it was like a moaning, screaming fuck. How could it be different? Do you want to go ahead and give it a go?
No, I don't, because then I'll have a flashback.
Okay.
But yeah, there was no like alleviation of pain at all. So then we finally get to the boat or the dock and we get off. We like plow through everyone. Obviously.
I just was like, she needs to get off. We have an emergency. She needs to get off. Because we were like in the front and we just flew past all the people to get off.
And then I'm like, I think I just need to go to the bathroom. Okay, now I'm just going to try and put you in my shoes. I thought of this analogy earlier. For anyone that used to play Sims, they take care of their people. And you have the little bars that turn from green to yellow to red. And that tells you how well your person is doing.
Yeah.
My bars had gone completely all to red. I was literally ready for the Grim Reaper. I was completely bent in half, fentfold, crawling up this hill, dragging my arms on the ground. At this point, you had been running ahead to try and find where the bathroom was.
It had to have been a mile.
It felt so far, and I just kept losing energy. And by the end, I was like basically crawling on the ground up this insane hill trying to find the bathroom.
She comes down to the bathroom and she's walking in, barely even saying anything above a whisper, saying, I'm going to pass out. I'm going to pass out.
Yeah, I was literally blacking out. I thought I was going to vomit everywhere. I pushed through an entire line of people at the bathroom, and I literally just collapsed on the ground in front of everyone at the bathroom line.
In the at the front of the line.
At the front of the line.
So like you're getting some looks at first, and then because this girl just comes barging in, passing everyone, saying I'm sorry, and then collapses in the front of the line. And this girl that was in the front of the line before that turns to me and she's like, "Is she okay?" I'm like, "No, she's not. She's not okay."
Someone just collapsed in front of you, saying I'm gonna pass out. You think they're okay?
So then she's like, "Okay, we should go get the medic." So she comes. She actually ended up being really sweet. She came with me to go find a medic to come and help out.
Yeah, and when you were gone, I had made my way into a stall and was literally just sitting on the toilet in excruciating pain. Like the pain had not gone down at all, only amplified. And I'm like in and out of consciousness, blacking out. I can't even form one single word in utterance.
So I come back from looking for a medic, and all of a sudden she I'm like watching her a little bit because I can open the door a little bit. It's not closed or locked. Couldn't do that effort at all.
No.
And she slides from the toilet seat, not wearing pants, all the way down to the floor, and just got her face pressed against the floor of the bathroom with no pants on, moaning and crying and saying, I want to go home.
Mm-hmm. It was so terrible. And like, I didn't know what to do to make it stop. Because like there was no, I didn't like go to the bathroom, nothing changed. It was just like this consistent feeling of torture in my bowels. And then Chloe came.
Sweet, sweet angel Chloe, the ICU nurse.
Yes.
Just happened to be peeing in the stall next door. Just happened to be wiping at the time that we needed our saving grace. So she comes out, she washes her hands, and she comes up to me and she's like, can I help? I said, please help. The medics have not come yet. I'm starting to get scared. The person behind me is freaking me out because they're behind me in line. They're like, I think your friend just passed out. You should probably do something about that. And I'm like, I just went and got a medic. I can't do anymore. Please stop it. Like I was getting to an anxious state. I was trying to stay calm, and Christine's naked on the ground, laying there, and she's like, she does not care about anything that you see. Just go in there and help her. And she's like, okay.
So then Chloe came in, and I was like, I couldn't even talk to her because I had no energy to even speak. And she like wanted me to get up off of the floor, but I was in so much pain I couldn't even imagine moving my toe. It was so terrible. And then like leaning my head right in her groin.
What was kind of frustrating too, or just a little bit annoying, was everyone just kept saying she's overheated, she's dehydrated, right. This, that, the third. And I'm like, it is 72 degrees out.
Was not hot at all.
We have drinking a gallon of water each today, at least. We've eaten twice. We've had electrolytes. We had liquid IVs.
It was not heat exhaustion.
It was not dehydration or overheating or anything like that. And people kept saying that. And they were like, get some wet towels, get some wet towels. There were no towels in the bathroom. So I like soaked my leggings and like gave them to them. And she had like my leggings around her.
Yeah, then the paramedic finally showed up, who was basically just bossing Chloe around, even though he was the one that was working there. And he's like,
Chloe was a visitor of the park.
Yeah, she was
not on duty.
No, but next thing you know, she's giving me a stroke test. The guy is like directing her. But whatever, they finally get me out of the stall and they just want me to lay on my back. So I'm on the fucking dirty bathroom piss floor, laying completely on my back, just soaking it all in. I had laying on my back. The pain really did not subside, but I felt like I was gaining more consciousness, which was relieving because I have never felt so close to death in my life. And I have been through hell and back with a kidney transplant.
Yeah, that was one thing too. They're like, has she ever been through anything, any medical conditions? I'm like, well, she's a kidney transplant recipient. Like, I don't know. Yeah, she has health problems.
Yeah, so it was like that. And like having been through all that nonsense, and then this specific instance was like the worst I've ever felt in my life. It
Mm.
was really scary. So they give me all these tests, everything checks out, my vitals are fine. They treat me for overheating.
Your color started to return to your face when you laid flat on the ground.
Yeah, that's when I did. So just if someone's about to pass out or feels like they're passing out, lay them on their back,
Mm-hmm.
because that does actually help a lot.
I was freaking out. At this point, I'm in tears because I don't know what's going on. I've experienced her health stuff before, but I just also knowing her history, I was that much more scared. So, because I knew everything, it made me terrified. So, I'm crying and Chloe's comforting me, but I'm trying to just like keep it together because Christine's like barely awake and responsive.
Coherent.
And Chloe's like, "Well, she looks good. She looks good to me. Like she's looking better." And she's like, "But I'm an ICU nurse and someone breathing looks good to me. So, I don't know what that means for you." And I was like, "Okay. I'll take what I can get."
And then finally the stretcher came in.
They had the bathrooms closed with like signs out in front saying bathroom out of service, like this bathroom that we were in, and a ranger sitting out there telling people they couldn't come in. So this was like a whole production. The
Whole
park
park shut
shut
down.
down. Mind you, it was like a Disneyland out there. There were so many people.
So many people. And I get on the stretcher, they're carrying me through the whole crowd of everybody.
Rolling her right in the center, like
Oh,
a
I was getting
spectacle.
rolled. I don't even remember. And I do remember waving to people because I didn't want them to be nervous.
Yeah, she was waving, saying, "I'm okay."
Because I mean, you see someone rolling through on a stretcher, you cannot help but stare, no
Definitely.
matter what.
Definitely.
So now I'm the victim on the stretcher. So I'm just trying to, alleviate some stress for people. And then they put me in the ambulance to give me another once over. And they were honestly basically useless to me. She's like, well, you could have some electrolytes. I'm like, no, sweetie, you don't understand. That's not what's wrong.
Everyone kept saying that. Everyone kept saying dehydration or heat exhaustion. And I kept saying over and over, that is why I'm crying. Because I don't know what it could be because we have covered all of our bases today.
Yeah.
So they didn't have room for me in the back of the ambulance. So they let me up into the front seat. And I, all of a sudden, it came over me just as fast as the first time.
Number two.
Out of nowhere, I felt a rush come over me.
Was it as aggressive as the first?
Yeah, it was.
Just as.
I get the stomach cramps and I'm like, oh my God, I'm literally going to shit my pants. I did not even have time to turn my head to say, I will be right back.
Yeah.
I flew out of the ambulance and booked it to our RV. And I came into the RV and literally shit my brains out.
More or
Excuse
less?
It was less, but it was still just as violent
and urgent.
And
I had no idea where you went.
Well, and I'm like,
honestly.
I'm trying to go as fast as I can. I literally can't help it. It just keeps coming out. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to go back because she doesn't know. Like, what if they decide to transport her to the hospital? I have her phone. I'm in here. I didn't tell them where I went. They don't know where our RV is because we went right to the ambulance. So I'm like freaking out. And I'm like, I literally need to stop shitting right now so that I can go out there. So I'm like rushing off the toilet, running back out there. I come busting out of our door. And the paramedic's like almost at our RV. I'm like, I don't know how he knew this was our RV, but thankfully.
I don't know how he did either because there was a lot of RVs there.
There was a lot of RVs.
No idea. But I remember he did go look for you once and then said he couldn't find you. Then came back and then went to look for you again.
They ended up coming back to the ambulance and they just kept telling us the electrolyte thing. And I was just like, all right, whatever.
And then she's like, do you want to get transported? I'm like, for what? You're not even telling me anything that's wrong. I was still in like a lot of pain, but I was like, had way more consciousness. So I felt like better about not going. So we leave the ambulance. I walk back to the RV and like we're just sitting here debriefing
Mm-hmm.
because it was just like so traumatic.
I
And
called my mom because I needed to talk to someone. So we're on the phone with my mom and she's like telling us what she thinks.
right. And then all of a sudden, I get the urge. And I'm like, I am literally going to blow this place up. And I run to the bathroom and have a massive diarrhea explosion. How did I describe that, the amount?
We have this peanut butter pretzels jar that's about a gallon size. And she said that she could have filled it.
It just like all came out all at once. And I was like, oh my God.
I could have filled a pretzel jar.
It's like, what is wrong with us? But like,
it was not right. It was not right.
No. And I did, after that happened, I felt like I did feel better, but I was still like in a lot of pain. It probably went down from a 27, probably back down to a 10 of pain level.
27.
So I was like, what the heck? I was like so confused. And we were like, okay, well, this day is like over. We need to just go back and rest and recuperate.
Mm-hmm. But since I had shit my brains out twice since the last thing I ate, I was fucking starving. And I was tired.
We were starving, but like then you did laundry and I like passed out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I woke up and I was like, I don't feel good still. I was like, I was having the cramps still. And then I would pee and it would burn and hurt and the pain would linger after I was peeing. I was like, are you serious? I have a UTI?
She has a history of them.
Yeah,
and
really, really severe history of UTIs. And that's like, in like something like that just happened, me passing out would definitely be something that would happen from a UTI.
Well, and because of I would assume the immunosuppressants that you're on post-surgery, that is why your symptoms of a UTI are so much more extreme, like fever, chills, like
sepsis,
like flu-like symptoms she gets for a UTI.
Yeah,
anytime she gets one.
So then they have that whole episode, and then I'm like having these insane urinary symptoms. I'm like, all right, well, I have a UTI. We have to go. I have to go somewhere because it's only gonna get worse.
Yeah.
So I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like so annoyed because I have terrible memories of ER visits and all being that sick nonsense. In the ER, yeah. Nonsense.
All of that nonsense.
And I'm like, great, we have to drive to the hospital, which is over an hour away.
In Jackson,
Wyoming. And the whole time we're driving there, I'm just like, great, like we're gonna be here all night long and be sitting in the ER.
I'm basically crying from being so starving.
Yeah, we haven't eaten.
We're miserable.
Starving. I'm in excruciating pain.
I've never driven the RV before, and I got to get behind the wheel now. Mama's got to take over.
Sister trucker.
Baby trucker. Baby girl trucker.
So baby drops me off at the goddamn ER, and she flies out
to get a burger.
To get that burger.
For some reason, my body was craving a fucking burger. So I drove. Christine's like, okay, just make sure that you gave me like 2 rules and I broke them both.
What?
One of them was make sure I don't have to back up. So wherever I park, I can pull out. Had to back up.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember what the other one was because I needed to find parking. I was scared about the parking ticket thing. I was scared I wasn't going to be able to find the RV. I'm frazzled. She's in the RV.
In the ER.
Oh my God, all these acronyms. She's in the ER. I'm in the RV.
Yeah.
So stupid.
It's so ridiculous.
I'm actually not in the RV. I'm in fucking line to get a burger.
It's taken forever.
It took for a long time.
So I walk into the ER and I'm like already irritated because I'm like have this whole preconceived story of how this whole night's gonna go. And I walk in and I'm like, am I even in the right place? This place is dead. It was a small hospital.
There were tumbleweeds in the ER.
There was no one in the waiting room. There was like a skeleton at the seat.
Mm-hmm.
And
unique.
And they like get me right in. I don't even sit in the waiting room. They just put me right into a room. I'm like, okay, well, this is off on a good note. They do a bunch of tests. They gave me an IV bag. They take my blood, do the urine. everything comes back crystal. I'm like, okay, well, that's a relief, but why did I just...
What the fuck is going on?
I need answers.
I need answers and a burger now.
Oh, yeah, mind you, I haven't eaten either.
Mm-hmm.
But I did get to score some free Gatorade from my nurse.
I think we still have some of it.
Yeah, we do. I don't even remember his name, but I liked him. So then the doctor comes in. She said, my kidney levels look good. I don't have a UTI. There's like no sign of infection. I was like, okay, all good and great. And I told her the whole story of what happened, that we both had diarrhea and like I passed out and whatever. And come to find out, we have narrowed it down to that we had
Food
severe
poisoning.
And I was like, well, why did I react like that? And she said that can cause severe pain to the point of passing out.
Mm-hmm.
And it, of course, it hit me more because I am fragiler. More fragiler.
Mm-hmm. And we start thinking, okay, what foods? We got to pinpoint the foods because we are not doing this again.
No, we literally just threw out the entire fridge.
We came back and threw everything out because we couldn't really narrow it down. But
we think we did narrow it down.
Yeah, the night before we had tuna wraps. I wanted to make a tuna wrap for the hike. She wanted to do like peanut butter or something. But I was making my tuna wrap for the next day, and we decided to just make extras for dinner that night. Mm-hmm. So we both had tuna with mayonnaise. And then we also had hard-boiled eggs that smelled a little funny.
Well,
they just smelled strong.
Whatever cause, it was egg-based, whether it was the hard-boiled eggs or the rotten mayonnaise.
Because our fridge, hopefully Mike's not listening, our fridge was having problems, the pilot light staying lit. So the fridge was not working while we were driving. And we had just driven like 8 hours in Utah in the middle of summer.
So the fridge had been off for 8 hours.
And then recooled, so we didn't realize that had happened.
Early on the trip, we're still working out the bugs. That was a big lesson learned.
And
we do not keep mayo anymore.
We take packets wherever we can because we do like our mayo.
You're still at the burger place. I'm like literally waiting on the curb.
Actually, no, I forgot. I went to the store to get us liquid IV.
Oh, right.
Everyone was saying it was hydration. I'm like, well, we may as well just fucking get it.
Yeah, so you had to go to the...
I had to get liquid IV, then I went to go get my burger. And I was in the line at the burger place, and I'm like, gonna cry. Because she's like, I'm done. I'm like, great, now I can even eat my burger.
I hadn't eaten anything either.
I know. I couldn't think about that, though.
It was late. It was like 10 p.m.
And we had been up since 4:30 in the morning and did a 10-mile hike. Ate at maybe 9:30 in the morning, 10, and shit it all out. So we're like starving and tired and miserable. We went through the Dairy Queen drive-thru for Christine.
I haven't eaten fast food since I was a child. And I'm like, we're getting Dairy Queen. And it was really good. Honey mustard. I really didn't start feeling better until probably 3 days later. Mm-hmm. I had so much like inflammation and like trauma to my bowel system that it really did not recuperate for a couple days. Mm-hmm. So that's our Grand Teton story. Mm-hmm. But Grand Tetons does still go down as one of my favorite places.
The Grand Tetons were magical and powerful.
I just couldn't handle it, I guess.
We can't even get in to the people that we met there. Because that's a whole nother story for a different day. Cage Ahananu on Spotify.
He used to tour with...
He would be so proud of our podcast.
I know, because it was before we started it.
It was. We met them early on, and we fell in love with every single one of them.
Yeah. Every last one of them.
They had a whole group, and they'd been going for years and years. It was amazing.
Yes.
We've met some really, really amazing people on this trip.
And some not so amazing.
We'll get into that another time. We apologize for the change of lighting. We really have not had time to film.
We're having too much fun to film.
We really are we cannot limit ourselves to daylight only.
No.
And we don't have the proper lighting, so it is what it is. Hopefully it looks okay. I think the first half probably looked okay.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
Just bear with us. It's not, it's not Hollywood, sweetie. You asked it.
We answer.
What do we got today?
What is something that you packed but have not used yet?
Oh, I've been waiting to talk about this because it has been a point of contention in my own mind since I left.
Mm-hmm. And a point of friction with you and your parents.
I just basically took this thing so I didn't cause any problems. The undercarriage of the RV only holds so much. There is certain things that I absolutely need to have. Tools, hoses, oils, whatever. I did not need to bring a full-size propane grill. Because this is the thing. My parents are used to a certain kind of camping. Pull up, you stay for the weekend, you set up, then you leave. We're not doing that kind of camping. We're pulling up at these campsites, we're eating dinner, we're sleeping. We're not setting up camp because we're getting up in the morning and leaving. I do not need a grill to cook outside.
We have our electric skillet from
Right,
Grandma.
I cook everything in here. Now I have this huge propane grill with 3 huge canisters of propane that I have not even touched. That's every time I take something out of the compartment, I have to rearrange because the fucking propane grill. And I told them, I don't want it. My dad's like, you're gonna want something. What are you gonna cook a steak? And I'm like, I haven't eaten steak in 5 years.
This was before our meat era.
Yeah. Which still, we haven't even eaten steak.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I don't want it, but I'm not gonna argue. Just put it in there. I can't deal with it. So, how many months are we in? Over 2.5. Haven't even touched it. Besides when I have to rearrange the
only time you have to touch it is when you have to literally move it.
Right. So I'm
Because it's in
literally
the
just
way.
moving it around. I've never even used it. And I will never bring that anywhere again.
I don't really think I have anything that I haven't used besides just clothes.
Yeah, there's been a couple like extra clothing items, but
Yeah, maybe some toiletries and things. But I think I've pretty much used most things I packed. I think we did pretty good packing. We can do, if people have questions about like how we packed and what our thought process was behind it, I started a Google form in our Instagram. So you can just go right on the Google form and type in any question that you have for us.
awesome. And where can we listen and follow?
You can listen on Spotify,
1,
YouTube.
2.
We're working on other platforms, but right now it's Spotify and you can watch on YouTube. We also have our Venmo linked. So if you want to donate to the Adventure Fund so that we can do things like go out to eat and we'll talk about whatever we use it for on the podcast.
Excursions,
Yeah.
activities.
If you do donate money to us and tell us what you want us to do with it, we'll do it and then talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah, we're really open to anything.
We're really open to anything.
Anything and everything. All amounts are welcome. All right, the night is closing in, as you can tell, and we're about finished up.
The sun is going down. We are going down.
And I'm starving.
I'm really hungry.
So I'm about to cook on my skillet.
Tomorrow we're going to check out some beaches in Tahoe.
Yeah, and the weather looks great, so it should be a great time to explore.
I can't wait to get more tan.
Cheers.
Bye.